wiggle around and
hi everyone.
stuff.
I'd like to welcome you to the Year 7 2021 Information Evening. Lance Hillhand's my name. I'm the Year 7 Wellbeing Community Leader. And we're going to commence the evening tonight, firstly with Prem and Acknowledgement of Country.
Hi, I'm Janella and I'm a part of the Student Leader Group and I'm a Liturgy and Identity Leader. So I'll do first. In the Father, Son, Holy Spirit, Amen. Loving God, we pray for the new students and their families who have gathered here this evening. Bless each family as they have just as you watched over the people in ancient times and throughout all the ages. We ask that you look over these girls now and in the coming years, help them with their times of nervousness and excitement. Amen. In the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Amen.
Hi, I'm Emily and I'm one of the Year 7 Liturgy and Identity Leaders.
Hi, I'm Mary and I'm one of the Year 7 Liturgy and Identity Leaders, and today we'll be saying Acknowledgement of Country.
Clonard College acknowledges the Wathaurong people of the Kulin Nation who have educated their children in this area for many thousands years and who are the traditional custodians of the land on which Clonard now stands.
We would like to pay respect to elders past and present and to the stories that have been handed down over generations. The elders and the stories hold the memories, the traditions and the culture of this land.
All right, so normally we would be in Tullow Hall, and my last thing when I was talking, when I was miming it, I was actually saying that this is the first time we're doing it remotely, so fingers crossed that it all goes well. All right, let's go with this. Please have next to you, and you should have been delivered to the schools. Your daughter should have brought home the handbook. Very important to have that with you. There might be some questions that you have that are not in there, but we'll try to answer those a bit later in a question and answer. What I'd like to do is just bring up really quickly about the orientation day. Mrs. Quinn, Lucy Quinn will talk about this a bit later. At the moment, it is December 8. It's a virtual from 4 to 5. However, things may change as things change nearly every day at the moment. A few other things too. Coming out tomorrow on Operoo, there should be some forms about music lessons, the wellbeing, student wellbeing letter, bus forms if that's applicable, and also the voluntary canteen form. Coming out a bit later, the computer agreement, book list, uniform fittings, and the fee schedules and payments and so forth. All right, tonight there'll be some of the staff talking to you. So Mrs. Lucy Quinn will be speaking to you straight up in a few minutes. Miss Anderchief, Tanya Anderchief, and Miss Kylie Powell will be talking about the wellbeing at Clonard, and then we'll have Miss Jo Ryan will be talking about the learning and teaching in her role, also as assistant principal too. Now, halfway, at about 20 minutes time, or 25 minutes, there'll be some other important people. Leslie, Dean, Marianne and Jared, and they'll be talking to you and hopefully answer some of your questions regarding buses, payments, enrolment and ICT as well. I really hope on the top right hand corner you can see a question and answer function. That's important too. So as you're hearing these speakers talk live to you tonight, you might have some questions that you would like to put forward. So please put your name and the question forward, and as you think of it, and these will be sorted out and presented to particular staff who can answer those towards the end of the session tonight. Okay, I'd like to hand you over to Mrs. Lucy Quinn. Lucy.
Thanks, Lance. Welcome everyone. Thank you for being here with us tonight. Last time I spoke to many of you was actually at our open day in March, and unfortunately it was not the address I had planned to give, as we were making plans on the run that evening in response to the emerging COVID-19 situation. And we still cannot meet face-to-face tonight. All of us have become experts in adapting this year, and tonight is just another example of having to find a different way. I'm just checking before I go on because I'm seeing some puzzled faces. Can people hear me? Okay, let's keep going then. Clonard is a college that values hospitality, welcoming all, and it is in this spirit that I welcome you to Clonard, especially our new families for whom this may be the beginning of a journey within secondary Catholic education. I welcome you not just on behalf of the staff here tonight, but also the broader community of Clonard, students, families, our old collegians and Kildare ministries. You and your daughter are now part of our story, a story which commenced over 60 years ago with the arrival of the first Brigidines. Our daily work is inspired by the Brigidine and Presentation Sisters as we continue the legacy of educating students to be young women of faith, young women of service, young women of learning, and young women of character. The women in our tradition, St. Bridget, Nano Nagel, and many of the sisters who followed in their footsteps were women of strength and gentleness, fierce in their conviction and commitment to a life of service to God. Their courage, compassion, vision and faith still burns within us today as a source of inspiration for all those who call Clonard College their school.
Lucy, I'm just gonna, one moment, please.
Yep.
We are having a technical issue. The parents aren't seeing it's being cut. So parents haven't been able to see, but we are working on this technical issue. We will be with you shortly. Please stand by. Thank you for your patience and understanding.
That's okay. Oh, I think I've reappeared. Has that worked? Yay! Okay, we won't start from the scratch because you could hear me, is that right? Okay, we will keep going. We're learning every minute in this space. Where was I? Okay, Kildare Ministries is a family, a community of 10 schools and 3 community works, all of whom share a common vision of a community where all people are valued, where all creation is recognised as sacred, and where hope, courage and justice are our hallmarks. This is what we stand for as a Kildare Ministries school, and this is what you have chosen for your daughters. As your daughter begins with us, we are really excited about the directions we are shaping here at Clonard. As a Kildare Ministries school, we are being called to consider how the Kildare Ministries principles of living justice, living peace, inform and inspire our work and the experiences our students have both in learning and extracurricular activities. At Clonard, we listen to the cries of the poor and the cries of the earth, giving a voice to those who are on the margins and making the needs of the vulnerable paramount. We have formed a learning charter for our college, which outlines how we understand learning and in turn teaching at Clonard. This is our response to the body of evidence about how we learn, what constitutes high impact teaching, and what is important for our young people to learn today. We have high expectations for our students, and we aim to ensure challenge and opportunity in their learning as we partner with students to take greater responsibility and ownership for their learning and success. Remote learning has really shown us what is possible for our learners in terms of independence and self-direction, even in our youngest learners. We're also actively addressing the rising trend in mental health challenges and wellbeing concerns for young people by implementing a school-wide curriculum to intentionally teach the skills, strategies and knowledge related to positive wellbeing in a Catholic education context. And to complement this program, Year 7s and their families have the opportunity to meet with their wellbeing teacher each term to build connections and relationships. Building student voice and agency has been a key improvement strategy for us at Clonard, and we will look to continue this. Whilst we have a really broad range of student leadership opportunities, we see the power in growing the capacity of our students in leading and influencing aspects of school life that directly impact their outcomes in learning, wellbeing and engagement. And you'll see this tonight, even with the role that our Year 7 leaders have played in helping us prepare this for you this evening. So as we begin in this journey together, I can't stress enough the importance of partnerships with families. Success for our young people will be enhanced where there are open and regular lines of communication. Your feedback is important to us, and I encourage you to really engage when the invitation is extended. We also look forward to your support of our school policies, procedures and protocols, which are put in place to ensure a positive, safe and healthy learning environment for all. And these procedures are clearly outlined in a number of different places, including the college website, diary, prospectus and handbook. We do thank you again for your presence tonight, for your patience when we have the odd glitch, and for your choice of Clonard College for your daughters. We are here for you to make this transition as smooth as possible, despite the challenges that COVID-19 have placed before us. At this stage, we are not permitted to hold on-site orientation activities, so we have planned an alternative, which Lance will outline later. However, we do ask that you keep December 8 on your calendars in case the situation changes. We'll make a decision a week out should we be able to hold something on site. We've actually become really skilled at being agile this year, and we'll do all we can if there's any possibility that we can hold something on site before the end of the year. Today, our families were also informed about an update to our sport uniform for 2021, and this information will be sent out to you tomorrow. And it is our hope that our Year 7s for 2021 commence in these new pieces. And further to the handbook, I just wanted to add that our students are permitted to wear the college pant and college shirt all year round now, as well as our college dress. I look forward to really watching your girls grow and flourish into strong young women during their time with us. We're only a week out from farewelling the class of 2020, and it's such a bittersweet time because we don't want them to go, because we have grown so connected and fond of them and proud of them. And it only seems such a short period of time since they arrived with us. But that's the rhythm and the cycle of school life. And with the pride of seeing them head off into the world, we also welcome your beautiful young people to our community. So with that, again, I say thank you. We can't wait to see you all. And I'm going to hand back to Sasha now, who's going to take us on a little video tour to see some familiar faces who the students thought might be helpful for you next year. Thanks, Sasha.
Hi, I'm Hunter. And I'm Emily. And we're this year's Year 7 SRCs. We're going to introduce you to some important people at Clonard. So this is Jared, and he's the leader of the ICT here at Clonard, and he's going to tell us about what he does.
Firstly, welcome to Clonard. As you've just heard, I'm Jared, leader of ICT here at Clonard. We have a great ICT team that's here to support you with all your ICT inquiries. You'll receive a Surface Pro device on the first Friday, 29th of January. This is an exciting device that will support our contemporary learning as a tablet and computer all in one. Enjoy your time here at Clonard and pop over and say hello to us in the Bridget Ann Centre. Thank you.
Now we're in Student Services, and this is Lisa, one of the school counsellors. Lisa, can you tell us a bit about what you do here at Clonard?
Thank you. Hi, here in Clonard we have two counsellors, Sasha and I, and one of the things that we do is we do lots of check-ins with Year 7s. We spend lots of time talking to students about how they're adjusting to school, to high school and to the changes. It's a big year for transition in Year 7, so there's lots of things we do here. We help young people with transition, we help them with anxiety, we help them with problems that they might be having, and we do lots of referrals, and we work a lot with parents and with families to support them, to support their young people. It's a whole team approach, if you like.
Hi, Ms. Wilson. Can Can you tell us a bit about what you do at Clonard here?
I sure can. So in the music department, all of the Year 7s get to have the opportunity to learn an instrument for the semester, as you know.
Yeah.
And those instruments include things like violin, cello, clarinet, saxophone, trumpet, trombone, flute. I feel like I've forgotten one, but that's okay. And then we bring all of those students together to create a band and to perform at the end of the semester. That program is just part of our classroom program. So as you remember, you just got to borrow your instrument for the semester and put on a performance at the end. After Year 7, there's obviously lots of other opportunities for music students. We've got other bands and other ensembles like a concert band, a rock band, choir when we're allowed to sing, of course, and there's also a string ensemble, and all of those groups do lots of performing around the school and also out in the community as well. So come and see me if you're a musician who is already looking to be part of one of our bands, and I would love to have a chat with you and get you involved.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi Leslie, could you tell me a bit about your role here at Clonard?
Thank you, Emily. Sure, happy to do that. Hello everyone, my name is Leslie. I'm the admin team leader here at Clonard. We're looking forward to receiving your girls and offering them all the support they need. We'll be able to provide in the office information on bus travel. So if you have any queries on bus travels, we're here to assist you with that. All your communication of Operoo will come through from the office, and we are looking forward to your girls starting at Clonard. Thank you.
Hi Dee.
Hi Emily, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Could you tell me a bit about your role here at Clonard?
I do the accounts here at Clonard, so I look after parents paying fees and a few other things like that. And I particularly enjoy my job because I see where that money goes to. So a lot of the benefits that money goes towards making sure that you guys have a wonderful experience here at Clonard is something that I take a lot of pride in and make sure that we do that properly.
Thanks, Dean.
All right, thank you.
Hi Miss Dalton, you're the student health leader here at Clonard, so what do you do as part of that role?
Hi Hunter, thanks for asking. As the student health leader at Clonard, part of my role is with CareMonkey, formerly CareMonkey, now Operoo, so that all of your excursions and important information from Clonard get to you. So as Year 7 students, you will already have accepted an invitation to join Operoo. The other part of my role is managing processes and documentation around medical concerns. So parents need to put all that information that's required onto the Operoo profile for your daughter. And also looking at processes in the first aid room. So at Clonard we have a first aid room that the office staff manage, and looking at systems and medications and things like that there as well. So that's about all from my role. Thank you, Hunter.
Thank you, Ms. Dalton.
So thank you, Sasha. My name's Kylie Power. I'm the Assistant Principal of Wellbeing here at Clonard. It is my pleasure, excuse me, to talk to you about our whole school approach to wellbeing. We're very proud of our wellbeing program, but it's not just a program, it's actually a whole school approach. Every teacher and every staff member is a staff member for wellbeing, and we support your girls in a variety of ways. One of the ways that we are most proud of is our Wellbeing 2020 Plus curriculum that Lucy mentioned earlier. Every wellbeing teacher teaches their class with some explicit curriculum that is based on, the latest evidence and the latest scientific wellbeing science. It is explicit, it is sequential, it is age appropriate, it is evidence-based, and it is a lot of fun. So wellbeing teachers actually meet their classes for 4.5 hours a fortnight. So we have 3 one-hour classes and 4 25-minute classes in a fortnight. Some of them are based around a lot of collaborative fun, which are actually, really important skills for our young ladies to develop. but a lot of it is explicitly teaching social emotional learning. We do things like grit, persistence, growth mindset. We talk about gratitude. We talk about kindness. So it fits beautifully in with the Kildare Ministry values, and it's something that the girls really, really enjoy. So we're very proud of our explicit wellbeing program, but we're also very proud of lots of other supports we do in the wellbeing space. As you know, there's lots of talk about mental health in young people. We are here to support them, and every teacher has the skills, and we do give them some training to make sure that if your daughter is perhaps not going very well, we can reach out and support her and get her the help she needs. So you will notice in your Operu send out that you get recent, I think it's coming out tomorrow, you will see a permission for student services to access that area. That is the counsellors and Lisa that you met in the earlier video. So again, it doesn't mean they need to lie down and tell us all their problems. Often it's just a check-in to make sure they're coping with the transition from primary school to secondary school. So obviously our curriculum is something we're very proud of, and we have 2 school improvement leaders in wellbeing. So Mr. Andrew Damon and Mrs. Tanya Antichev. And Tanya, I'm going to introduce now, who can tell us a little bit about what she does also. Thank you.
Thank you, Kylie. The first thing I wanted to say was a huge welcome to all of the families, and thank you for choosing Clonard. We're really, really excited to meet you all face to face, hopefully sooner rather than later. My role is called a School Improvement Leader for Wellbeing. So I work really closely with the Year 7 team of teachers around wellbeing and right across the school. I have previously worked specifically with the Year 7 as a Year 7 leader myself, and I have absolutely loved my time as working with the Year 7s. So I think it's an amazing team effort, because we have wonderful staff here who are really right across the whole transition process. We understand that students and families feel nervous, they feel excited, they feel confused, you know, they feel curious. There's a whole range of emotions going on. So we're well aware of, we're very experienced in transition, so you can be reassured that you're in really safe hands. Another part of my role is I am the Child Protection Officer for next year as well. And it's important to also note that we are a respectful relationships school. So that means that as part of our wellbeing curriculum, we specifically teach students about healthy relationships, about building resilience and building confidence, which is really, really important for optimal learning for all of our students, which is what we're all about. So as I said, can't wait to meet all of the wonderful families that are coming in for 2021. And I'm now going to introduce our Assistant Principal, Miss Jo Ryan. Thanks, Jo.
Good evening, and it's so lovely to be able to talk to you about the Learning and Teaching program at Clonard College. At our school, we believe that every student has wonderful gifts to share with the world, and we really reject this deficit model of education whereby students are continually reminded of what they cannot do or what they lack. Instead, we look for ways in which we can identify and exploit the talents that your daughter has been given. We offer advanced classes in Year 7 and 8 in mathematics and in English. If your daughter has been identified as needing advanced studies, you will receive an email from me later this term. At Year 9, the curriculum becomes vertical to allow your daughter to have greater agency in her choices, enabling students to take up to 2 VCE studies at Year 10 through the accelerated learning pathway. It's also important to note that students as early as Year 9 can undertake VCE studies if they have the acumen to do so. This is usually particular in students in the performing arts who have been dancing since they were 4, or in Jasoda, and have the experience there. We offer supported studies from Year 7, and I'll speak about that a little bit further. And we are very proud that we have built a pathway in our school to Year 12 for every student in the school. We offer a bright and vibrant VCAL program, which begins at Year 10 as pre-cal. We need your help and support at home to reinforce the importance of education for a better life, to reiterate messages about diligence, determination, hard work, as a means by which students achieve success. It's a simple recipe. Generally, what you put into education is what you draw from it. We need parents to ensure that your daughters are here at school all the time. The Everyday Counts report has found, as we've known, that going to school every day is the single most important part of a child's education. Students learn new things at school every day, and missing school can really put them behind. Simply, we can't teach children who are not in front of us. And sadly, the gaps that form through absence can't always be bridged. Children become ill, we understand that, and we wouldn't question the benefits of a cultural experience like a family holiday. But the reality is that every day does count, and we seek your support to ensure that your daughter is at school every day. Students in Year 7 are expected to engage in 20 minutes of mathematics revision and 20 minutes of wider reading every day. In addition, students will be given 20 minutes of homework from all the learning areas, around 300 minutes per cycle or 2 weeks. The homework is only allowed to be rote revision and recitation, no internet searches, no projects. Certainly, if your daughter would like extension work, the teachers are very happy to supply it, but we believe that balancing homework and home life is really important. We want you girls to help with the dinner, bring in the washing, talk to friends, engage in sport. There is more to life than just school. We thank you for participating in the PAT testing earlier. We believe that these tests enable us to begin with an understanding of your daughter so that we can meet her where she is. Next week, we will send out invitations to our numeracy and literacy enhancement programs and advanced classes for your consideration. The Numeracy and Literacy Enhancement program is designed to provide students who, for many reasons, may not be at the level expected at this time in her learning life. It's an opportunity to upskill as quickly as possible. The teachers in these classes are the very best we have, specifically selected for their talent, their love of students, and their philosophy that loving learning precedes success. The intention of the NLEP is to, where appropriate, return students to mainstream classes, but to feel capable and happy in their learning. Students in the NLEP literacy class do not undertake a language because we feel that literacy is necessary to participate in life, and what we need to concentrate on literacy acquisition as a justice issue. Similarly with numeracy, being numerate enables us to be powerful in our own lives. Certainly we drive toward mainstream, but we celebrate our wins and encourage our students to do so too. This year we celebrated with one of our Year 12s who attributes her place in VCE. She was in our first NLEP literacy group. She's preparing now to be a teacher, and she believes that her place in the Numeracy and Literacy Enhancement program is the reason why she is able to do what she is to do this year. These classes have as their intention the best we can offer for our students. You have also elected a language for 2021, and while we will strive to ensure that your daughter is allocated her first preference, that isn't always the case. So in advance of purchasing the text from the text list, we will let you know what language she will be studying. Finally, we encourage you to contact your daughter's teachers if you have concerns about her progress or want feedback about her progress. Every teacher has an email address you can reach them on, and they're always happy to receive information and give you feedback if you require it. I would encourage you to access the parent information module, where you'll find what work is due for your daughter, what she's submitted, her marks and comments from her teachers to inform her ongoing progress. Please come to parent-teacher interviews, which may well be remote. We went remote this year and it was remarkably successful. And we will advertise those to you in advance. They're usually held 2 times a year. You will book times with your teachers using your login details through the parent-teacher online portal, which will open usually around a week prior to interviews. You'll receive a letter with your login details in the mail or by email in the first few weeks of term, and there is also a demonstration available on Simon. Please don't wait if you think there's an issue. Let us help. We, like you, have a vested interest in ensuring that your child's 6 years with us are rich, productive and rewarding. Thank you. I believe we're now going to hear from Helen, so I'll turn over to her.
Okay, I've got a question here. So there we've got some time for some question and answer. And I've been forwarded a couple of questions. I can answer this one straight away. The invitations for the Operoo will come out tomorrow. There'll be some coming out tomorrow, as I mentioned before, the canteen form, the bus form, the student wellbeing leader, photography and music lessons, and others will come out a bit after that as well. Regarding the question I've got here about classes and finding out, so December the 8th of the Tuesday is the orientation day, but the Friday beforehand on the 4th, students will be, families will be emailed the wellbeing class that you're in, the colour, whether it be green, white, blue, yellow, red or purple, and your wellbeing teacher. So look out for that. Look out for that email. That's really important, and that'll gear you up for the orientation day, however that looks at this stage.
Okay, we have a question here for homework. So I'm going to push Joe Ryan live again. Joe, the question says, homework, triple R, is that just for year 7 or does that continue throughout the years? If you could, so the question was asking about homework continuing on for year 7.
Sorry, homework. So the triple R's are for year 7 and 8. We recognise as the years go on that students need to take more and more. I don't even know what that's a picture of. I'll switch. Hopefully I'm right now. Thank you. The triple R's are for year 7 and 8. We recognise that sometimes the load for students and parents can simply be too great, and sometimes we have a suspicion that parents are working very hard in the homework space when things are large projects, internet searches. So we want to keep this really, really tight. And also because we recognise, as you would have noticed when your young people went to prep, the first time at secondary school can be really tiring. So we keep it tight and keep it really focused. They may need to go on the internet for things like Language Perfect. Some students will have Mathletics if they're in the Numeracy support classroom. Some will have Literacy Planet if they're in the Literacy support classroom. But for the majority of students, they should be simply revision, rote and recitation until they get up into year 9.
Thank you, Joe. Our next question comes from Anonymous, who says, will we be in a lot of the same classes as our friends? And I'm going to send that off to Lance Houlihan to answer that question. So Lance, just double check you're not on mute.
All good to go. Thanks, Sasha, for that. So with returns of classes, we will do our best to have somebody from your school, from your class in your wellbeing class. Requests are very difficult to meet in terms of putting best friends in and so forth. However, we'll do our very best to ensure you've got a familiar face in the class. There's a lot of involved in the class in terms of languages and so forth. So we'll do our best to have a familiar face.
Lance, a second question while you're here.
Sure.
So the question says, will there be time for students to meet other students that don't have anyone from their primary school? So this is a question around Singles Day.
Yes. All right, let's have a go with this one. Normally at this time we were, but then because of the whole COVID, we're not. However, at this stage we're not. However, that might change as well as with orientation day. Okay, so just be a lookout for emails, and if we can't, then we'll do our best to, when we come in early next year, to meet that need as well, because we're very aware of that.
Thank you, Lance. The next question says, can you still do piano as an instrument for school? Now, I'm going to open this up to the panel. Is anyone a piano expert in our teaching panel? Can anyone put their hand up and answer that question?
I'm not a piano expert. We offer one-to-one and small group instrumental program. So students who come in with a particular talent that want to pursue it, there will be classes. They're held inside the school day. Students are given the leave pass to go and have these classes. They are at an extra cost to parents because they're done privately. The instrumental program generally doesn't include piano because it's very hard to take one of those home. But if you do have a skill, and we really do cover almost every instrument in our instrumental program for private tutoring.
Thank you, Jo. While you're here, another question for you. Question from Jason says, will my daughter's preferred language be advised on the 4th of December as well?
Your daughter's preferred language will be advised earlier than that. I would be hoping for every parent to know what their daughter's language is by about 2 weeks from now. By necessity, I have to understand where the numeracy and literacy classes are before I can allocate languages, but I'm reasonably confident that most people will get what they've asked for.
Fantastic. Thank you, Jo. I'm going to push Tanya Antichev live. I've got a question for you, Tanya, here. So the question says, would I be in the same house colour that my sister was, even though they have left the school?
What a great question. Absolutely. And we can see lots of nods around the room. Yes, that is one thing that we can definitely keep track of, and it's something that is usually on the enrolment form as well for you to indicate that. But yes, we do keep track of previous students, and we make sure that the families do stay in the same house.
And what are the 4 houses?
The 4 houses, well, the best house is Kildare, which is green. Then there is Finian, Xavier and Lelia.
Lelia.
Fantastic. Thank you, Tanya. We've got another question here, which is going to go to Lance Houlihan. So Lance, you're going live. Just check you're unmuted. The question says, can you request for friends from other schools in your class?
I think that's a very similar question to the question. Well, the requests can come in, however, due to the situation with, like we said again, we'll do our best to have someone from your school, from your class, come in, but very difficult to at this stage to be able to manage that. But we'll just keep it to the familiar face, I think. So
can I just pop in for 1 second there too? I know there's a natural desire for.
I'm sorry. I think Jo's going to answer. We're just going to flick over. Yep, Jo.
Yep. Jo is live.
I was just going to say, I know it's a natural desire for parents to want the security for their daughter to come into secondary school with a known group. We do find though that students sometimes find when they're developing new relationships that it can be difficult to do that when you're attached really closely to the group that you've come in with. So having a familiar face, as Lance has said, I think is really important, but also encouraging students to break out and find new friends, because they will be together for the next 6 years, I think is also really important.
Thank you, Jo. I have a question here and we're wrapping up, so I'll have 2 more questions. This question goes to Dean Hackwell. So Dean, just be prepared, you're on. So just make sure you're unmuted. The question is, can the school fees be paid in instalments? And you are live.
Can you hear me now? Yeah, in actual fact, we would prefer that you do pay in instalments unless you pay in advance. What we would like is for you to spread your payments out throughout the year, which helps with your cash flow. We offer direct debits, whether it be via your bank account or your credit card, and that's our preferred option. We do have other options. If you do have a specific inquiry about your particular circumstances, I'm just a phone call away, or you could email me, and my email address in advance is account@clonard.vic.edu.au. Having said that, our information about fees are going to be going out, so most of the information will be in that. Thanks.
Thank you very much for that, Dean. And I've got 2 final questions. So there's a question about sport and a computer IT question. So Jared, I'll be pushing you out live. So question is, can you please confirm when computers will be provided for students? And you are live.
Yep. Evening, everyone, and welcome to Clonard. Your ICT devices will be ready to collect on the Friday, 29th of January. You'll be all issued a Surface Pro device for a Year 7 student. So thank you. I look forward to seeing you then.
Fantastic. Thank you very much for that, Jared. And for our last question, the question is about soccer. So, Lucy, can I push to you and you can answer about soccer and then give our final message? So, Lucy,
I am absolutely not a soccer chick. What I can assure parents, though, is we have a broad range of sporting opportunities available for your daughters. Everything from probably the A to Z of sports, from aerobics to triathlons to women's football to women's cricket to netball to football to soccer. You name it, we pretty much would have that opportunity available for them. Shelby Hackett is our inter-school sports coordinator, and she's the one that provides all the opportunities for the girls. I know right off the bat the triathlon is one of the first things that they train for and enter into, and can remember some of the year 7s that I looked after this year went off and participated in that. So Simon, which is our learning management system, is often the place that the girls will go where all the information will be continually posted about all different extracurricular opportunities across the school. So I hope that answers the question. Sasha, before I finish though, I'm going to hand back to Lance, and he's just going to outline to families what our contingency plans are if we can't meet face-to-face due to the ongoing COVID restrictions, just to let families know what our plans are that we have in place. I'm not sure if it's plan A or plan B, but it's a plan if we can't have our traditional orientation day on the 8th. Thanks, Lance. And again, thank you everyone for being here this evening and for being patient with us.
Thanks, Ms. Quint, for that. So I'm not sure whether I mentioned before, so December 8 at the moment is the orientation day, but it will occur between 4 and 5. So you'll know your wellbeing class by then, and you'll get an invitation on Microsoft Teams that'll be sent to you. You connect onto Microsoft Teams and you will meet virtually, remotely, your teacher, your wellbeing teacher, we call, and a wellbeing class. And at the moment, that's where we are. So it might change next week or down the track. So that's where we are in terms of that. Can I just jump into Ms. Ryan mentioned too about coming in next year and wanting to make be connected with your old classmate and the opportunities where you can still be and meet with your old friends from your other school where you've come from. However, there's camp coming up early as well. That's a great opportunity to make new friends. It's a great chance to have a new start and a fresh start as well. So really encourage you not to get too worried about that. And there's a lot of support here at Clonard as well. Can I also acknowledge all the wonderful staff here tonight who have given up their time to be here for you guys. It's a privilege for me to be working with the staff here at Clonard, and I feel very lucky to be at Clonard, and you will love it. So thanks for attending, families, tonight. This is a message to the Year 6 girls out there. I know you've been away from Year 6 a lot this year, learning from home, but enjoy the next 6 weeks. Clonard's a special place, but also primary school's a really special time as well. Enjoy with your friends. You'll be going different places. I know coming into Clonard, there are girls coming from 40 different schools. Now, that's a lot, and that's exciting at the same time, that's for sure. I'm looking forward to meeting you very soon. I know some of you already, so I'm looking forward to seeing you again as well. So your next contact will be October the 8th in terms of seeing us and talking with us in some way. You'll love Clonard, it's a fantastic school. Any other inquiries that you've always got the book here. The Clonard handbook has got so much in it. Marianne is fantastic in responding to any questions and inquiries you have as well. Normally I might say drive safely. No need to tonight. Enjoy. It's a different experience listening to us. I hope we've gone okay. I know there are a few little glitches there. So thanks for being patient with us tonight. So once again, thank you for attending and wish you a good evening. Good night. Engage along and follow you great for Geelong.
Know that any questions posted in the chat will be answered, and a recording to this live event will also be shared with our families as well. Thank you again and have a lovely rest of your evening. Goodbye.
Good night.